as a middle school educator, I knew about education. I knew about curriculum design. I knew about scaffolding instruction. I knew about all of those things. I did not know about marketing. I did not know about selling, but I knew that if I wanted my book to get in the hands of other people, that these were going to have to be things that I learned. And so back then, Instagram, was fairly new and people were very heavily into the influencer marketing. And there was this lady that I used to follow. She sold hair weave and wigs, but I used to just kind of watch her. I used to like her content. And so she came out with the book called Best Marketer Wins. And I was like, oh, it was a little pocket size book, very, very small. She sold it for like maybe $30. I was like, oh, this is exactly what I need. Now, was that book about marketing a book? No, it wasn't. But I knew that I needed to learn about marketing, and I knew that I could take the strategies from that book and then apply it to what I was doing. And this is one of the things that I want you guys to understand, right? Because I see this so often where there's opportunity, right? To learn, to grow, to expand, to become better. But because you might have to do a little bit more thinking, or because you might have to do a little bit more thinking, or because there might have to be some strategizing, right? Or because you might have to figure out how to flip what you're doing and apply it. Like there's this block, like, okay, well, this isn't about marketing a book. No, it might not be. But the question is, can you apply these strategies to what you're doing? And if the answer is yes, then make it happen, right? And so, that's what I did. I started looking for information about marketing so that I could learn more about the skill set of marketing and implement it in my business. So I found this book. I ordered it. I found a $300 digital product. Someone that I used to follow, she, was selling this $300 digital product about marketing. I bought it. And because I started purchasing things about marketing, then the ads started following me, because the algorithm and ads, it follows you based on your actions and activity. And so that's how Amy Porterfield, her ads started popping up on my feed. And through her ads, I found out about her podcast, Online Marketing Made Easy, which I used to listen to every single week. She no longer has it. It's now called the Amy Porterfield Show, but you can likely still go back and listen to old episodes where all she talked about was online marketing. And through listening to her podcast, I got introduced to a lot of marketing strategies, a lot of people that were into marketing, people that were writing books about marketing, and I really started studying marketing. And so one thing about growing a business is that you have to be willing to be a student of the business that you want to grow. Even if you already have a business, and this is a breakdown that I see with a lot of people. They're like, either I already have a business or I already have a book. And there's this sense of ego and arrogance that comes along with it. And it's just like, you still have to be a student of that thing. You're either going to pay in time to learn the thing, or you're going to pay in money to get somebody to do it for you. And if you are paying someone to do a service for you, like marketing, you have to be ready and willing to invest a monthly retainer starting minimum at about $5,000 to $7,000 per month. And if you don't have that type of budget, or if that's not something that you want, that you're interested in investing in, then that means that you or somebody from your team has to be willing to learn about how to market your book, how to market your message, and how to put it out to the masses. And so, coming back on track, like, I got ideas from watching others. Like at that time, Tony Gaskins was really big and popular in the personal growth and development space. It was Tony Gaskins, the other Tony. His name is slipping my mind right now. That does all the firewalking and stuff. Chanel Cooper Sykes, Lisa Nichols, and back then in the online marketing space, big, bold quotables and all those types of things were in style and very popular. And so I started looking at how other people who were marketing successfully online, some of the strategies that they were using. And then I started applying those strategies to my content. So here's the thing. I wasn't copying what they were doing. I wasn't copying their messaging, but I did look at some of the techniques that they were implementing, and I started applying those same techniques to my business. You got to understand that success leaves clues. And so when you see someone being successful, you see multiple people being successful with a particular strategy, you have to ask yourself, is there a way that I can apply that strategy to my business and to my brand and to what I'm doing and still make it authentic and make it about me? And that's what I did, right? And so I started adapting that to my strategy. And then I also created theme days while I was marketing my book. And as a result, I made $5,000 in pre-sales for my book launch. And then everything went crickets. Let's just be very clear here.